Hey guys, this is Chetan for Gizmo Times and you're watching a quick unboxing and the comparison of the Micromax new smartphone with that of Micromax In Note 1. The In Note 1 was one of the decent offerings under 12,000 rupees from Micromax, and it did compete with some of the likes of brands like Poco, Redmi and even Realme and even Samsung, and the In 1 brings in only a few changes. So we aren't doing a separate comparison but would only talk about what are the major differences between the two smartphones. Here the In 1 firstly comes with better internal specs in terms of storage and RAM. So you have 6 plus 128 GB option available apart from the 4 plus 64 which is there, but 6 plus 128 obviously would give users a thinking towards long-term approach, like 2 to 3 years you won't have an issue about the storage, and also for no issues with the RAM as well. These are the major specifications: 6.67-inch Full HD Plus display with 60 Hz refresh rate. Then you have 1080 to 2400 pixels of screen resolution, which means there's 20:9 aspect ratio, and alongside that you also have 440 nits of brightness. And one of the major things, I mean, there are other specifications including Helio G80 and the triple camera combination, 5000 mAh battery. This one is what actually would give a lot of users that interest towards this brand in particular, because Android without any ads, without any bloatware is what users always think about. I mean, at least the tech savvy users, not the other users who usually don't really care about these things. At least the tech savvy users will have this thing in mind. And this is the made in India smartphone from Micromax. And if we talk about the pricing here, the pricing mentioned is quite a lot. You can obviously see it says 16,499 as the price, and it is a 4G smartphone, obviously not 5G. And you also would also see that it is being made in India, or the manufactured in India in Rajasthan. And as I said, this comes with 6 plus 128 GB, and there are two color options. One is purple and one is blue. So the one that we have is the purple option. Let's now quickly unbox the smartphone and show you what comes in the box package, and also how good the device looks like, and what are the differences between this and the In Note 1. Because the only difference that is seen in the naming is that the Note branding is removed, and this would come under the In series without the Note branding. So this is the X pattern that you see on the back, and that is similar to again the previous one, that is the In Note 1. But there's differences, obviously there are differences, that is why I said it's not exactly the same. But it's a plastic bag. That's a good thing that it's a plastic bag. I don't really always I always say that when it's a glass bag it needs that extra protection, so that isn't needed here. So plastic bag, no fingerprints, no smudges, everything looks good. And this is the X-shaped pattern that you see on the back, which also reflects itself pretty well against the light. And you have a triple camera combination towards the top. So this is the triple camera, where you see a 48 megapixel f1.79 primary camera. Below that is the 2 megapixel depth camera. On the right is the 2 megapixel macro camera. So one major difference here. Now we'll take this out as well. This is the Micromax In Note 1 alongside it, and the In Note 1 has a 5 megapixel wide angle camera, which is removed from the In 1. So the In 1 does not have that wide angle camera. That's the first major difference between the two devices. In terms of display, there's actually no difference at all. There's a 6.61-inch display with the same resolution, with the same screen protection, and also the same aspect ratio, the same brightness, and also the refresh rate. Everything is the same in terms of display, but with the camera, the 5 megapixel wide angle camera has been removed, and that's one first difference. Now let me keep that aside, talk about what else comes in the box package. There's protection plans being shown here. Apart from that, if we take out this and show you what else again comes up, there's a transparent rubber cover given here. There's also the user guide. There's a SIM ejector tool in the box package. Apart from that, you have the 18-watt fast charger that is given inside the box itself. That's a good thing. You don't have to buy the fast charger separately. But in this price range, we have seen faster charging speeds as well. But still, okay enough that we see the Micromax In Note In 1 having 18-watt fast charger, which is the same that we saw on the In Note 1 as well. So no difference in that aspect either. 5000 mAh battery was present on the In Note 1 as well. So there's no difference in that aspect as well. So these are the two smartphones, Micromax In 1 and the In Note 1. Now if we talk about what are the major differences between the two, as I said, only 2 or 3 differences. One of the other differences is that Helio G80 is what you see on the Micromax In 1, while it was Helio G85, a little bit chipset. Basically it's almost the same, but only a minimal difference between the two. And the graphics graphic performance actually is not going to be really different between the two smartphones. So in terms of the benchmarks as well, there won't be a lot of difference. We'll anyway show you a different gaming comparison of these two smartphones to let you know whether the G80 is good enough or you'll have to get the smartphone with the G85. So it's 1,97,000 that you see on the G85. We'll have to do benchmarks still on the G80. I'm waiting for an update. We are told that there's an update being sent to this smartphone, so we'll wait for that. Though it's not going to bring in a lot of changes in terms of performance, but it would be fair enough to do the testing and comparison of the performance only after that update arrives. Now in terms of the software, it's exactly the same software. So the apps that you see here on the top are all installed by us, and they're not pre-installed. Even on this one, the first two apps are installed by us, and also PUBG Mobile is installed by us. Everything else actually comes pre-installed, and that's the only applications which are coming in the smartphone. The Google applications and nothing else. There's sound recorder obviously, and there's also FM radio which users would obviously want, but otherwise everything is clean. I mean, you don't have any clutter, you don't have anything that you need to separately remove or have a headache about it. Right now it comes with Android 10, and it's the pure Android based on Android 10, and the company claims that by May 2021 we might see the Android 11 update on this. And for now, Android 10.80 is what you see on the smartphone. And if you go into the camera application, as I said, there won't be a lot of difference. It's going to be the same kind of a camera setup, and it's 48 megapixel primary camera on both of them with the scene optimizer, with all those pro mode and settings as well. But you don't see that wide angle camera option on this Micromax In 1, while that would be present on the In Note 1. So wide angle shot, this feature is not present on the In 1. So that's one of the only differences that we could easily make out here. And with the version as well, so obviously you have 4GB RAM option on the Micromax In Note 1, but nothing on the 6GB RAM which is present on the In 1. So you have 6 plus 128GB option on the Micromax In 1, which is a good thing. And both the smartphones have a dedicated microSD card slot, so you have no issues about the storage expansion. On the front, it's the same punch hole camera with 8 megapixel selfie camera present there. So again, there's no difference in that aspect either. If we talk about the design part of it, if we talk about the buttons to specifically mention it, there's no difference in the right. On the back, you see the patterns are a bit different. I mean, it's more shinier on the Micromax In 1 when compared to the In Note 1, but obviously it again depends from user to user. Both are plastic. There's no problem about the protection of that. On the left, you have the SIM access area and also the dedicated Google Assistant button. And towards the bottom, it's exactly the same combination that you see here. It's a Type-C port, then the speaker grill, and also the microphone and the 3.5mm headset jack. On the top, you have the secondary microphone. So there's not a lot of difference, but it would be interesting to see what the pricing would be for the Micromax In 1. While making the video, I'm not sure about the price, so you'll have to check the description, because this video will anyway be live after the phone has gone official. Now, the Micromax In 1 on the right here has 440 nits brightness, which is good enough for regular users, but you might see some issues when you try to go under the sunlight and want to read a lot of content. There might be some issues because 440 is not going to make it cut that easily. Now you have the same fingerprint sensor on the back of the device, and this would majorly depend on the pricing of the Micromax In 1, whether to actually suggest this smartphone over the Micromax In Note 1 only for its internal specs, mainly the 6GB RAM, because otherwise, if you talk about it, this better processor, I mean only by a small margin, but still that is a better processor on the Micromax In Note 1, and having a wide angle camera is going to be an advantage over not having it. We might have been okay with the exclusion of the macro camera or even the depth camera, but a wide angle camera should have been there, and that is what is present on the Micromax In Note 1. So that is one compromise that you see on the Micromax In 1. Otherwise, everything else is almost the same on both the smartphones. So that's it, guys. This was a quick comparison of the Micromax In 1 when compared to the same company's Micromax In Note 1, and also a quick unboxing of the smartphone. I hope you like this video. If you have any other questions, do let me know in the comment section below, and subscribe to Gizmo for more. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.